Good evening and welcome once again to the Whiskey Cowboy Live. Tonight's date is November 3rd, 2024. It is a Sunday. A way for folks to join the show. I've been dropping content. That's right. I generally come on up to the studio about a half an hour before and get everything cranked up. That gives me enough time to get everything booted up and running smoothly. And just before that, I drop more content on my Facebook page. So make sure that you make it over to Facebook. It's The Whiskey Cowboy, of course. If you have any doubt anywhere online, you're going to find my content. Just Google it, The Whiskey Cowboy. I am the one and only. There is only one. Worldwide. There's a couple Whiskey Cowboy. There's a Whiskey Cowboy saloon and whiskey. Cowboy whiskey, but no Whiskey Cowboy. That's just me. Laurel says, good evening. Looks good. Sounds good. Fantastic. Good to have you back there, Laurel. I'm glad things are... I'm presuming things are better. You didn't send me a message stating that, oh no, I gotta have another glass of wine. We had a long show. Boy, last show was long. We went an hour and a half over schedule. Folks came in about an hour into the show. Gus sat with me there from the opening of the show for an hour before anybody showed up. Holy crap. Where the hell is everybody? I said, Gus, you know, if I want to just chat with you, I can just dial you up on my phone. Sit there in the recliner, set my phone on my belly, and we can chat. I don't need to fire up the show for that. But he did. He sat out with me, and he stayed until about 9:30, 9:45, 9:30, I think. He got tired and he had to go. So it's like, that's fine. But by then we had a bunch of other folks, a bunch of others. We had some more folks and they joined in. But we covered everything. Have you gone back? Did you watch the show since then, Laurel? Did you check the last episode out? Last live stream? We covered everything. Covered Transylvania and Romania and the Persians and the Ottomans and guns and scythes and... Oh, you haven't heard it yet, but it's on your agenda? Yeah, it's a long one. We covered all sorts of stuff. Oh, my goodness. It was like, you know those shows where you never know, like I say, you say, never know what's going to talk about on the Whiskey Cowboy. This was it. We talked about all sorts of stuff. We were all over the map. It was a good show. Good show. Wish you were there. I'm glad that you got some relaxation, though. Sometimes that happens. Hey, there's Donna. She says, hey, you guys. Yeah, I don't think Donna made the last show either. Tonight's coffee is pistachio cream from New England brand. Pistachio cream. It's good. I like my pecan. I don't know what it was. Butter pecan, and I've got southern roasted pecan. I like those better than pistachio cream, but it's good. It's good coffee. But yeah, I was dropping last bit of content on Facebook. Half hour. Put down the numbers. It's like, yeah, you can't believe this shit. You know, the left is like, oh, the guns. Donna says, I tried last week, which you were gone. Yeah, I took a day off. It was Sunday. I was there Wednesday because Wednesday was done. Sunday, I took Sunday off. I had woken up with a pretty bad sinus infection. I had a sinus headache. Felt like I went a couple rounds with Mike Tyson. I was like, no, it was. I took some medicine. I relaxed in the day and took the evening off. Sorry about that, Donna. But the left and guns are the problem. So the last compiled data that I could get for all the years was 2021. And according to the CDC, in 2021, there was 48,830. So we'll just say 49,000. Yeah, Sunday. No, it wasn't good for me. I wish I'd felt better. But yeah, I just had to take the show off, take the evening off. So we'll round it up to 49,000. 49,000 gun deaths in 2021. That sounds like a lot of numbers. They break it down. They say that 54% of the gun-related deaths in the United States that year were suicides. So that's 54%. So you can take that off the bat, right off the top. Disregard over half of those numbers. Because people are going to commit suicide, they're going to commit suicide. You don't count how they do it. That's what they did. So you take half of those numbers off the top. 43% were murders. So that's 20,958. So 21,000 murders, according to the CDC. That's a lot. 21,000. Did you do the time-changing thing? Yeah, I did it this morning. So, yeah, we're actually starting an hour late in the show. The missus says, don't stay up till 11 again. It's like, no, come 10 o'clock. I didn't change this clock. I'm going to have to look at my watch. So come 10 o'clock, we're going to shut it down. So, okay. And then the rest were accidents. 549 were accidents. And 537 were law enforcement, in other words, with criminals. And then 458 were undetermined circumstances, so they don't know. So if we add let's say 500 undetermineds, add that in with it, you're still just, 21,000. 21,000 bad deaths caused by firearms. You go, wow. Well, you just dropped that from 49,000 to 21,000. Yeah, see how that works? But in the same year, get this, in the same year, there was 107,000 Americans that died of drug overdoses. And 71,000 of them were linked to fentanyl. So 21,000 murders and or bad deaths caused by firearms, 71,000 by fentanyl, 107,000 caused by drug overdoses in general. So here we go on this. Let's go even further. I'm getting there, Laurel. I'm getting there. In 2021, there were 625,978 legal abortions in the United States. 625,978. So let's round that up to 626,000 unborn babies murdered in the United States. Now, how many gun deaths, bad gun deaths? We said, what, 21,000? So somebody had brought out, and I'd brought up about medical malpractice and incidents and stuff like that. I couldn't find it 2021, but what I did is I found John Hopkins Medical, published in July of 23, so last year, that they had, the data was compiled that there is an average of, here we come, 371,000 deaths a year caused by medical mistakes and malpractice, and 424,000 permanent disabilities caused by medical mistakes and malpractice per year. That's right at about 800,000 deaths and permanent damage caused by medical malpractice and mistakes. Guns are the problem, though, right? Yeah, not likely. Not likely. With all the guns in the country, man, those are rookie numbers. 21,000. But see, it sounds bad. It sounds high when you don't put it into context. Even if you put the full 49,000 Doesn't even come close. Doesn't even come close to any of the other numbers. Any of them. None. Doesn't even come close to just fentanyl alone. And fentanyl numbers have gone up. They've gone up. So I'm spitting facts. I'm posting content and spitting facts for folks to take and use that how they see fit. Which site are you looking at? For all those other numbers were CDC. All the numbers I gave were from the CDC. You're going to get different numbers at different places. You got to pick one. CDC is the place that comes up the most. The people look back and they look at what the CDC posted because they collect it from like 48, 49 different sources. So I just went with, could be higher. Those numbers could be higher. They ain't lower. they ain't lower. So I kept it, again, except for Johns Hopkins, I kept it all CDC data. And I posted up about it, and I said CDC. So folks can go and they can look. And I kept all the other data the same year, 2021. It takes a while to compile all the data. Why it takes years, I have no idea, but it does. All right. Hey, Frank and Zebo. I've been out to Frank and Zebo Friday and Saturday night with the new setup. I got another tarp and I hung it from the front. So now we got tarps on four sides. I got some air gaps along the corners, but four sides are all tarped in. I was like, oh, this is nice. You get a little bit cold, but it's like, oh, Jesus. It was a good 20 to 30 degrees warmer inside than it was outside. It was 30 degrees when we left the gazebo on Saturday night. It's 30 degrees outside. Let's see here. I'm going to pull this up here. Internet on. There I am. There I am in my spot in the Frank and Zebo. Saying cheers to y'all. And the tarp, the white wall and back of my glass there, that's the new tarp wall. The one behind me, it was there. It's around three sides. And then we just hung this one. I leave all but the last two grommets. It's attached. And then I bungee it to the side and then I open it up. It's like a door. I might do a little door framey thing for it. I don't know. But it works. That's the Cowboy drinking his whiskey. I had, that was EB 99, Ezra Brooks 99, last night. Let's see here. Should be yeah, there we go. Big bottle. Big bottle. You see, got legs and feet everywhere. Had a full Zebo. Had a full Frank and Zebo. Because the kids come over on Saturday night. Let's get back here. Let's go to our actual show list here. Show list. There we go. Tipping. I posted up about tipping because it came up in my feed. Oh, you need to tip, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. And I posted about it. So I posted exactly how I tip. I don't start at 20%. Used to be 10 was fine. I usually tip somewhere between 10 and 15%, depending on the bill, depending upon the service, and other factors, how long I'm there. If I'm there 3 times longer than I should be, I'll tip higher. I wrote it all out. I got a lot of tipping criteria. If I'm stopping a rotation of customers in, then... But look, if 2 people are ordering a meal and the meal comes to, let's say, $60, that's 2 $30 meals. And you go, oh, 20%. Oh, okay, do the math, whatever the hell it is. Now, let's say if you ordered 2 people ordered an expensive meal, well, that $30 is the meal and drink. The meal and drink. So for me, it's like usually a beer and Water's free, I guess. So I get 2 waters, 1 beer, maybe a steak and taters and whatever. Just general meal. $30. Now, if 2 people ordered a drink, 2 waters each, and the meals came to $60 each, then should you then still pay 20%? Same amount of work, same amount of time? Nope, I don't believe it. I don't do that. Donna says if it's good, 20 to 25. Hey, if it's excellent. In other words, I had a great time, great atmosphere. Granted that the waitress or waiter, they're not in charge of that, but great atmosphere, great food. Yeah, I'll do 25, sometimes more. Depends upon what it is. I do not penalize the wait staff if the food sucks. I don't do that. I'm paying them for their service, not for the food. However, if the food is fantastic and the service sucks, same thing. I'm already paying for the food. I'm going to pay on top of that for bad service. Then the tip goes down. Donna says she leaves cash, not a card. A lot of people do it, and that's fine. I don't carry much cash unless I go someplace I know they're not going to have machines. I don't carry a lot of cash. So it all goes on the card. I don't give a fuck whether they're taxed on it. I really don't. They get taxed on their standard pay. Yeah, it'd be nice if they didn't get taxed on it. But you know what? I'm taxed out the ass for everything. Let's just reduce the taxes. You know, I don't care that they're taxed on it. I'd rather they wouldn't. I'd rather they weren't taxed on anything. But we are. That's part of their damn income, isn't it? Their tips or their income. So I don't care if they're taxed. A lot of people, oh, terrible. Pay cash. What? So you're basically paying them under the table? No, sorry. If I have cash, I'll leave cash. If not, I'll pay on plastic. If it's taxed, I don't care. Why should I? If they're a good waitress or waiter, they'll make good money. Work for a good restaurant. And by good restaurant, I mean good food, good location, good clientele. Fred says I've tipped 1 cent 3 times. Yeah. I don't usually tip that low. I have not tipped. I have not tipped. But, yeah, there's several things. Number one, I don't want to ever have to ask you to fill my water glass. This is basic shit. I've been a waiter. I've been wait staff, and I've been a waiter. Making sure people's plates are cleaned off the table when they're done and drinks are filled is not rocket science, and it's not hard. And you can have 10, 15 tables and still make sure people's shit is done. Why? Because most of the time you're just running back and forth. You're not cooking the food. I'm not saying that you can't be busy. Of course you're going to be busy, but it ain't rocket science, and it ain't that hard. Set yourself a nice pace. Look up and down your tables. Make sure that the glasses are filled. You know, this is all simple stuff. Make sure that when they're done, they're not waiting for you to bring the check. These are all little things. It's like, don't they even teach you this stuff anymore? So, whatever. Hey, Fred. Welcome to the show. I'm like, has he been here before? Turnip seed. Yeah, he's been here. So, yeah. But some gal, she had posted up. Oh, my goodness. She posted up. I don't know where the hell she was getting this information from. Most of us were all on the same page, pretty much across the board. There's little niggles here and niggles there, and that's fine. But we're all pretty much on the same page when it comes to tipping. Well, this gal's like, you know, and she's had a restaurant and she'd done this. I guess she's from Texas. And if you don't pay your wait staff on a, like, let's say, I think she said $80 meal. If you're paying an $80 meal and you don't tip them, and you don't tip them well, you're basically the waitress is paying you to eat their food. Like, what? She's paying me to eat their food. And another gal goes, I don't think so. That doesn't make sense. So the original gal and another gal tried to jump on the second gal, saying, no, that doesn't make sense. Yes, because in Texas, you're taxed on the entire meal. Yeah, most states tax you on the entire meal. That's the way it works, not just in Texas. Most states do that. But the restaurant calculates the tax, adds it to the bill, and the customer pays it. They collect it, and they give it to the state. They're not out the money for the, no restaurant is out the money for the, Donna says most cafes around here get paid around 2 cents. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what they're paid. That sounds terrible, but I don't care. They knew the job. They knew the job. They know what they're going to do, how many hours they're going to work. They know the general traffic and the flow of the establishment. They agreed to it. And I tell you what, waiters and waitresses, even at cafes, if they choose the right location, can make damn good money. In fact, they have even tried just paying them outright. Oh, this is a decent wage, we'll do it. And they took a hit in pay. They took a hit in pay. Right, so look, the issue of how much they get paid is another issue. It's another issue, one that I don't care about. I don't care how much they're paid. If they are getting their income from the service that they give to me, they need to earn the damn tip. They need to earn it. It's not hard to earn it. So I was thinking, it's not hard to earn a tip. The cowboy ain't an asshole about it. It ain't hard to earn a tip. I start out base neutral. We can go up, we can go down. You determine that. Somebody said, oh, bad day. What if they had everybody has a bad day? And I wrote again, I don't care. I don't care if they're having a bad day. I'm paying for their service, not their mood. He's like, oh, everybody has a bad day. You should be the person that it's just funny. Be the person that makes them feel good and turns things around for them by tipping them 25% or more. It's like, are you freaking insane? So I go into a restaurant, I get really shitty service. I was having a good day. Or maybe I was having a bad day too. Doesn't matter. I'm paying for service. Right, Donna said, that's not my fault. Correct. It's not your fault that they're having a bad day. Them having a bad day and getting bad tips, they might think, I might want to re-examine how I'm dealing with it. Not everybody makes good wait staff. I made good wait staff. I'm a personable kind of guy. People like me. They're like, no, John, you're an asshole. Yes, I can be. But no, people like me. Gus says 3 of my daughters work waitressing, and they all it just disappeared. They snagged your post before I could read it there, Gus. And then somebody said, it might be, here's another thing. Oh, but back to the first thing, it was bullshit. The waitress does not get taxed on the meal. It doesn't work like that, so whatever. Another thing was that, places are having a hard time with keeping wait staff, so sometimes it might be a really busy day. And again, I said, what'd I say? What was my response? I don't care. I don't care that they're having a busy day. In fact, I said a busy day means that they have opportunity to make more freaking tips. Your day goes by faster. Gus says, sorry, it was me. I hit send before it was done. Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead and type it up again, Gus. But yeah, when I was working wait staff, what's bad is if it's all at once. Like if you get like two tour buses all at once. Holy shit. Then you're scrambling. You can handle it, but you're scrambling. But if you have a fairly busy day, a nice flow through the day, your day goes by quicker. You get into a rhythm and you make more money. Do you want a slow day where you have 4 customers, or do you want a good day where you have 60 customers? Tables. Rotating tables. I said, give me more. That's more chances for tips. So don't say, oh, you should tip more because they're working harder. they're going to get more money because they're working harder. Why should I have to adjust my end? Because they're now working, because they have more tables? Like I said, if it's, especially like if it's a busy day and they need the tables and I'm there 3 times the length of time that I should take to eat, because I'm either having a meeting or I've got family or friends and stuff, I will tip accordingly. I will make up their lost tips. I will do that. I take everything into account. If it's a normal thing, I go in there. Here's another thing. You mean to tell me the table of 10 eating hot dogs, fries, and a soda, but they have a less bill than a table of 4 that had the most expensive items on the menu? The table of 4 should pay a higher tip than the table of 10 because their meal cost more. The table of 10 caused her over twice as much work for the same amount of time. See, people don't think about it right. It's like, no, the hot dog table should pay higher, even though their end bill is less, because they had more work involved. Lord Almighty. You want a good tip? Look, percentage-wise, if I go in, and I don't do it very often, if I was to go in and have like a piece of pie and a cup of coffee, the tip that I'm going to pay is probably damn near as much as is the order itself. Why? Because it's still your time. Well, John, you should have paid a hell of a lot less. You're supposed to pay 20%. 20%, whatever. Really? No, honestly. Okay, let's say it's a cup of coffee. You figured that it's about $5 for a cup of coffee. And let's say it's $5 or $6 for a piece of pie. Well, that's what, $10, $11? I'm going to leave at least $5. Fred says many places add 10%, 8 or more. I don't, yeah. And if they try to add a tip to it automatically, that's it. If it's just 10 or whatever, that's it. That's all you're getting. Because you shouldn't be adding the tip. Okay, Gus writes up, 3 of my daughters work at places that the tips are great. Most days make $300 to $375 a night, a day just for tips. So they work 4 or 5 days a week, adds up plus the rate. Right. Everybody tries to take like, oh no, I know somebody that doesn't make anything. Then they're working at the wrong place. It's not the same. It's not the same. Get yourself a good location. Good customer base. And then you'll get people that say, yeah, hey, is Jill working? Yeah. Put me in Jill's section. There you go. There you go. Look, I talk to countless wait staff, and they all say the same thing. If you do your job well, you make good money. Unless you're working a shithole. Don't work a shithole. Don't do that. Gus, thank you for spending the time with me, the hour last show before everybody showed up. It was much appreciated. Gus says they make a lot more money a week than I ever did. Right. And here's another thing that pisses me off. I'm going to say it. I've told myself I'm not going to bitch about this shit anymore. We talk about tips and people want to fucking go in and say about, oh, you're not supposed to tip. Or tip. Look. I've told you, if I went down and I busked down in Concord, I could make more money than I make working all the hours that I put all the content out there. No. Oh, they make so many. I don't care how much they make. They make more money than I do, and I'm putting in vastly more hours. Oh, but you're not on your feet doing it. No, I'm not. But time is money. Time is money. And they're not on their feet for the entire time that I'm working either. So stop it. Stop it. Oh, that brings us to I posted up about the Gus, you see that post I made up about that That lady down across from Heffenerd. That's Hannaford for all you people. Heffenerd, between Heffenerd and Shaw's down at the bottom of the hill there in Concord. She had 5 carts. 4 or 5 carts. She has anywhere between 4 and 6 on any given day. She's there on one side or another. Been there all year. We were pulling up to the intersection. I'm telling you about this. I don't need to tell you. I'll show you. I'll show you this damn picture. Here we go. There she is. There she is. Now, you see this chair to the far right? That's in front of, see there's Shaw's in the background over there. And it's either Borders or BAM or something like that is far to the left of this picture. And behind me would be, right here would be some Petco or PetSmart, I think, and outdoor clothing place, LL Bean or some crap like that. And then Heffenerd. Now this lady here, she's down there every day. And we pulled up and we were in a car where this arrow is. We were about there, facing left, because we were going into Heffenerd, do our shopping. And she's sitting in the chair that you can see over there to the right-hand side, and she is counting a stack of Al Capone bills. I mean, it was a huge-ass stack. And she just counted, and it was bank bills. You know, it wasn't donation bills, it was bank bills. You know, they look like they're laundered and ironed flat. Gus says Sally tips people that come to our house to deliver, do service. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we do that. That's a different story. But she was there. She was slowly counting big bills. There couldn't have been anything under a 10. And they were clean, flat iron pressed, you know, bank bills. And they were up to $100 bills. And she's counting them there, sitting there in front of traffic, counting her stack of money. Oh, the missus and I, we were pretty damn pissed. Like, can you believe that shit? We don't, number one, that stuff's all over Concord. It's disgusting. But number two, sitting there counting all of that cash right on the side of the street. You've got to be kidding me. So I'm like, man, we should have taken a picture. I got this picture as we were leaving. And so let me get back to see my ugly mug. And I got something in my eye. Feels like a finger. So I come back and I post up about it. So I'm talking about this stuff. Do not give to beggars. Do not give to beggars. Do not give them a freaking dime. Don't give them a gift card. Don't give them money. Don't give them food. Don't give them anything. Nothing. It's a choice. It's a choice. Stop it. Stop encouraging bad behavior. And a lot of them are not in the situations you think that they're in. Stop it. So okay, let me get back up to so I don't lose my train of thought. Because John's in a mood. Not really. But so we were all talking about it. And then it came up the subject of veterans. I only give to veterans. Really? Why do you give to veterans? Why do you give to veterans? Oh, because they're not getting it. It's like, no. Whether they're getting help from the VA, you know, and because somebody else said, it's a shame that veterans have to beg for food and money and housing and clothing. And it's like, guess what? Veterans don't have to. What? They don't have to. Nobody has to beg. Nobody has to beg. Every major community has programs set up. If you need something, you go and get that. A veteran doesn't need to be out there begging for anything because they're just like everybody else. Some veterans are good. Some veterans are soup sandwiches. They're pieces of shit. That's right. Some veterans are pieces of shit. It is what it is. And if you try to say otherwise, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. So veterans, along with everybody else, they don't need to beg. That's like, oh, she had to do Instagram. Really? Or not Instagram. OnlyFans. Oh, she had to do OnlyFans. Really? She had to do OnlyFans. No, she didn't. It was a choice. Oh, they're out there. They have to beg. No, they don't. You can go to any police station, any fire station, any church, any hospital, any number of places. Go to the town hall and say, I am cold. I am hungry. I have no place to live. I haven't eaten. You'll get squared away. Oh, they've got more pride than to do. Really? It takes more pride to go to any of those places and ask for help than to hold a freaking cardboard sign out on a busy street corner saying, God bless, anything will help. Get the fuck out of here. Don't give to any of them. Don't give to any of them. They'll go away. They're making good money. That's why they're there. Don't give to any of them. You don't know people's situations. No, I don't. But I know no matter what their situation is, there is no need to beg. We live in the United States of America, for crying out loud. Again, go to a town hall. Go to a police station. Go to a fire station. Go to a church. Pick a church at random. Go to a hospital. People will direct you and you'll get the help that you need. The idea that they have to beg, no, they don't. The reason they beg is because then they can use the money for anything they fucking want. And they don't ever have to be accountable for anything. And a lot of them make pretty damn good money. Don't give them anything. Don't subsidize that crap. So this one lady, she goes, okay. She goes, and I was taught to be that, and I give it because I enjoy the blessings and then the way it makes me feel to help somebody in need. And there you go. Remember, I've talked about this shit before. There you go. There you go. It's about you. Fred says, new one, LV paid taxes, $35,000. Gus says, I've always looked at their shoes. Tells it does. And you look at their tents, they got better tents than I had. Brand new jackets, nice chairs. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Stop it. I don't even care if they're all in rags. Stop it. They don't need to be there. There's countless places that they can go and they can get help. They don't need to stand on a street corner. Now, and I pointed out, you do it because it makes you feel good. You're not helping them. You're not really helping them. People, you're not really helping them. You're making yourself feel good. Stop it. If you truly are doing it for their interest, don't do it because you're not helping. There isn't a single person that went from, I was homeless and on the street and begging using a cardboard sign to suddenly I've got a job and I got a house. It doesn't work like that. Gus says $200 pair of shoes. Yeah. It doesn't. You're not helping anybody. You're subsidizing their, I'm going to just sit here and do nothing all day. And you allowed them to sit there doing nothing all day, watching the traffic, holding up a cardboard sign. Stop it. And then she goes, okay, and she conceded, okay, but the way she was raised, and this shit just irks the crap out of me. This irks the crap out of me. She was raised to be kind to everybody, and kindness doesn't hurt anybody. I'm like, oh, yes, it does. Oh, yes, it does. Kindness hurts a lot. Kindness hurts a lot. Being kind and not disciplining your kids hurts your kids. Being kind to the asshole. I'm kind. I'm not going to say anything. This guy's a complete jackass. I'm not going to. Well, he continues to do what he does because everybody's kind. Being kind to drug addicts. Being kind to abusive people. Being kind. Being kind. Stop it. Do what's right. Can you imagine treating cancer, being kind? Yeah, we're not going to cut the tumor out. We're not going to give you chemotherapy or radiation treatment. What we're going to do is we're going to give you an opioid. We're going to give you the hell is it? I've had it a few times. I like it. Vicodin. We're going to give you some Vicodin. Going to give you some Vicodin. Maybe some what's that shit you put in they try not to give it anymore, but they do it in the military a lot. It's a little flechette, and then they put it in your arm. Whatever the hell it is. That morphine. We'll give you morphine. We'll give you a lollipop, and we'll give you a facial because we want you to feel good. Yeah, thank you, Laurel. Morphine. I'm tired. Morphine, yes. So we're going to give you this. We're going to be kind to you. We're not going to treat the cancer. We're going to make you feel good. Hey, what do you want to watch on TV? We'll bring in your favorite food. Doll your hair all up nice and neat. You want a pedicure? Because we're being kind. This is a new cancer treatment no, being kind does hurt people. Now, I'm not saying you have to be an asshole, but there's plenty of times in life where being kind isn't the solution. It makes you feel better. This self-righteous, I am a good person. I get the rewards and the blessings from. You don't get blessings from doing the right thing. That's not how it works. There's plenty of people that spend their whole life doing blessings, and they're scrimping and scraping every day of their life. And there's plenty of assholes that win the lottery. Don't tell me, you get the blessings from helping. No, you made yourself feel better. Good on you. That's great. But at least know that that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. So that was that. Now, how do you like them apples? Man, John, people are like, John, he's a hard nut. No, I'm a very caring man. It pisses me off. People enabling bad behavior. You're not helping them. And you're not helping the community. Crime goes up. Stop it. You're not helping. It's not being kind. So I said, yeah, I had my say, and I said, but I'm going to just drop it right here. You seem like a very nice person. And she did. She seemed like a very nice person. But you're not helping anybody. I've helped plenty. I have fucking helped plenty. I don't go around bragging about it. I don't write my list. Did you know that I have never taken a tax deduction for any charitable donation that I made? Never, because that's not why I do it. And I try to help people directly. I'll give them the shirt off my fucking back and go home without a shirt if they really needed it. So don't think it's yours. But no. I've gone grocery shopping for people. I've done shit tons of stuff for people. I know when people need it and when people don't need it. But I've enjoyed it when I was down on my luck and somebody helped me out. Yeah, by all means. You think that those people out on the street, are down on their luck? They're living the lifestyle they chose. It's not down on your luck. It's not that, oops, I just lost my job. And if you just lost your job, you're not going to instantly get kicked out of your damn apartment. It doesn't work that way. You've got to not pay for months. I mean, it's one decision after another, and after another. By all means, let's take care of the problems, but let's not act like you're not the cause of the problem, and don't give them freaking money or food. Good evening, Kay. I'm fired up tonight. Tonight's coffee is pistachio cream from New England brand. Speaking of that, anyone like my content and stuff like that, and you would like to help buy the Cowboy a drink, be it a cup of coffee or what have you, there's a link in the description in the show, underneath the show. There's a link there. You can do a one-time payment, or you can set up a monthly donation for somebody that's actually working for their change. So, yeah, it's like stop feeding them, stop giving them stuff. It's not doing what you think it does. How dare you say they're only doing it for the... No, the main reason is for them. Because if they were really wanting to help them, they wouldn't be giving it to them. It's like giving an alcoholic a 6-pack of beer. I'm helping him out. You're not fucking helping him out. Stop it. It doesn't work that way. Stop it. Oh, they've hit rock bottom. Hey, they ain't hit rock bottom yet. They're collecting a shit ton of money out on the street. So, let's go back to my another bullet point. The feminizing of the West. Oh, the Gus says, nowadays jobs are a dime a dozen. Might be able, yeah. Especially if you're in the prime working age. If you're anywhere from like 20 to 35, you can get a job doing anything. Outside of that, or you're a skilled person, it might be a little bit more difficult. But if you're an unskilled person, you can get a job. But the feminizing of the West, the missus and I had a big talk about that we took a drive today. And one of the things she said is, we got talking about, she's like, I don't know why they keep wanting to remove men from positions of, and she was, power, authority. Bosses, politics, what have you, military, police. Trying to replace them with women. She's like, I don't know why they're doing that. So that's stupid. It is stupid. That doesn't mean that a woman can't do a lot of these jobs, but they're literally trying to remove men and stick in women. No, don't do that. I see more and more women are running for public office. No, stop it. No, men and women think about things different. That doesn't mean a woman can't do the job well. They can do the job well. A woman. Women can't. A woman may be able to, and there's a difference. Women think about things differently than men do. We have feminized the West. There should be a balance. Like the missus said, women should support their man. Be there. Help him. Yes, they should. Help temper. I say women should temper men. Let the men do the job. Women, you temper your man. You bring the feminine to his masculine. You don't try to replace his masculine. You bring the feminine to his masculine. Because a lot of these jobs need a man. It's more suited for it. Women are very emotional. Thank God you are. You serve a valid role the same way we've talked about this before. Child rearing. 1 to 4 years old, you need a woman. Men can do the job. Women are better at it. But then when the kid reaches about puberty and then teenage, that's when a man is super important. Why? Because men don't just at all costs protect their child. The man pushes their child. The man gets them ready to become adults. Mothers are hesitant. Again, no, I wasn't. Yeah, whatever. We get it. I'm talking about in a generality. And that's why we've had generations after generations raised by single women, and they wonder why their men are shit. You raised them because there wasn't a man in your life. Why wasn't there a man in your life? Same way with schools. Oh, and then boys and girls. Got to make boys into little girls. They got to sit quiet. They can't fidget. Let's give them Ritalin and all this other shit. Why? Stop trying to stifle men from being men. Boys from being boys. There's a difference. Celebrate your differences. Don't try to act like they're not there and try to turn little boys into little girls. Men into stuff. It is not in a man's nature to want to be subservient to a female. Oh, but men follow men. Yes, they do. Not every man is a leader. That does not mean he wants to be subservient to a female. Well, that's sexist. No, that's biology. That's biology. They think because we live in such a technical age where life is so much easier that biology gets thrown out the window. It doesn't. And you get problems when you try to do that. Let men be men. Let women be women. Remember the old saying, behind every great man is an even greater woman? Remember that saying? Remember the part where it says behind? Oh, but that's a supportive role. You don't think that that's important? Men need women to temper them. But on the other hand, men and women do need their own space. I warned about this. Women had to push their way into every male space out there. I've got to be there. How dare you just be around men? I've got to be there. Laurel says, I was lucky my husband guided my son during the teen years. I sure as hell couldn't do it. Yeah, boys and even girls need a strong man in their life. There's something that a man brings that most women can't, no matter how hard they try. So I got into this. I wrote the piece last week about how, or was it 2 weeks ago, something about how you can't do both roles. Even if you're by yourself, you can do what needs to be done, but a father will never be a mother, and a mother will never be a father. Period. Doesn't mean you can't do things when it's, well, I got to do it. I got to braid the hair. I got to go help my son with soccer or football. Yes, many times the roles are pushed on somebody that they're not the best suited for, and it will happen. But it's not optimal. It's not optimal. So why they would try to go and do something that's not optimal is inane. It's inane. So yeah, celebrate your differences and play off. You're a team. Temper your men. But what we've done now, like I said, the feminizing of the West. Men are pushed to the side. Women can do everything men can do and do it better. No, they can't. Men can do everything women can do and do it better. No, they can't. Men can do a wider range of physical things better because we're designed that way. Stop it. I can count on one hand, the number of times the missus has shoveled a single shovel full of snow since we've been married. And take off half my fingers and still be able to count it. Same way with mowing the lawn, same way with, she doesn't do that. Does that mean, she can't? Of course she can. It's my job, though. Stop it. Gus, me braid hair? I don't think so. Yeah, well, you could learn. You could learn it. You could learn it. But yeah, but it's not optimal. People make it, the articles out there trying to say, in the hunter-gatherer area, the women hunted just like the men. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Laurel says, I love mowing the lawn. Yeah, I zone out when I mow the lawn. It's the drone. Same way with vacuuming. It's the same way. Vacuuming and mowing the lawn, it's a zone time for me because it's got that constant drone. It's like I can shut everything out and just mow. But yeah, women can mow. The missus, she wants one of those zero-turn mowers. She's always wanted one. So maybe someday if our property can handle it, I'll get her a zero-turn mower. And there you go, baby. Gus says, nope, not going to happen. Laurel says, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that drone. I just lose myself. But, yeah. Got a feely that's feminizing of the West. Oh, he's a misogynist. No, I love women. Those, you gals that follow my content, you know, I'm not a misogynist. I love women for what they are, not for what they're not. Laurel says, I have a big commercial, zero turn as we have. Yeah, the missus would love to be on that thing. I want one of those. I told you she wants a tank too. You never know what she's going to want. So she wants a tank. She wants a tank and a zero-turn mower. The simple things in life. You go, hey, why did John marry her? Well, how can you not marry a woman that still wants to act like a woman, still wants to support her man, let her man be a man, but also wants a zero-turn mower and a tank? Come on, guys. You don't let that shit pass you by. It'd be stupid to do that. So I could put a tow behind mower on the back of the tank, and she could do it, but no. So yeah, feminizing of the West, and I guarantee our enemies are not feminizing a damn thing. Stop it. The pendulum is swung too far in one direction. The missus and I, she was really concerned. We had a long talk, and she was really concerned about this country and the direction that we're headed. And I tried to, it's like, look, just like I posted to you guys, we've started the push back. We've started. And left is screaming. Left is screaming. Happens, but we've started the pushback, so we'll go with there. So there we go, the feminizing of the West. Now let's get to the next topic. Happy or not, rich, poor, criminal or not. Because we were driving on the back roads, and some areas are nice, and some areas are not so nice. Not as bad as Vermont. Vermont's a real Hickville, but she was going, I was looking at some of the houses, and they're not big houses, and they're pretty modest. And she goes, I'll bet you they're happy. And I said, yeah, I'll bet you they are too. She goes, why does everybody, especially on the left, they think that if you're poor, you're unhappy? Because I think everybody's unhappy. You think the Clampetts were unhappy going out hunting for food and then playing their banjo on the porch? It happens all the time in Appalachia. They're happy as can be. They're not miserable people. They just don't have a lot. It's not what makes you happy. So if somebody's happy, don't, like I say, class is not dictated by your tax bracket. Neither is happiness. Don't feel sorry. And you all know me. I don't feel sorry for somebody that's poor. I feel sorry for somebody that's unhappy. And they're in a condition that they shouldn't be because of bad choices. That makes me unhappy. But if they don't have much and they're happy, they're having their cup of coffee and they're watching the sunrise and they're looking at the ducks in the park or whatever like that, and they're not doing much and they're happy, leave them alone. So what? They're not driving a big sports car. So what? Do they have the things they need? Yes. Good. Rich and poor. And I said the irony is they do the same thing. They try to demonize the rich. Okay, you can't be poor, but then you got to demonize the rich. So the poor should be rich, but the rich are bad. How do you square that? Well, you don't, because you can't win. You can't win. So that brings up to criminal or not. The vast majority of criminals are in the lower tax brackets, if in a bracket at all. Oh, they're criminals because they're poor. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're criminals because of their proclivity, and their proclivity leads them to be poor. It's the cause and effect is backwards. It's backwards. Oh, there's rich people that, yes, there are. Yes, there are. But there's far less. Oh, because they get away with it. No, because they don't do. A rich person doesn't go out generally and carjack people and rob them and murder them. Doesn't happen. They don't generally break into people's houses. These are the crimes that most criminals do. They're not robbing stores. Rich people don't do that. They do. I mean, they might murder somebody. Those are rare cases. You're not the devil because you're rich, and you're not a saint because you're poor, because more people are devils than rich people. And they're not devils because they're poor. They're poor because they're devils. They flip the dynamics there, the cause and effect. No. Again, I've been there. Peggy, hey there, finally made it here. The rich may have creature comforts, but not many of them know their true happiness. No, many of them do know happiness. See, that's a misconception too. There's a shit ton of rich people that are happier than pigs and shit. It's a misnomer that the rich aren't happy. A happy person is going to be happy whether they're poor or rich. The same way as if you're a shitbird and you have no money and you take drugs and stuff like that, and then you suddenly get money, do you think you're going to clean yourself up and you're going to be different? No, you're the same person. Money amplifies. It's a misnomer that a lot of rich people aren't happy. No, they're happy. A lot of poor people are not happy. But again, it's not based because they're rich or poor. It's whether they're happy or not. It's misnomers. Doesn't work like that. Welcome to the show there, Peggy. She goes, damn, what did I step into? I'm sharp tonight. I'm in a semi-mood. I'm sharp tonight. But yeah, it's easy to think, oh, a lot of rich people, they just don't know true happiness. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Some don't. But that applies to every tax bracket out there. Every single one of them. Because it's about people. Why do you, and here's another thing. Why do you think that so many lottery winners end up in worse shape than they were going in? Well, because they couldn't, if you can't handle money and you can't handle responsibilities of life when you're poor, you can't do it when you're rich. The problem wasn't the money. I'd like to have money. I'd like to have more money. My bills are paid. It's not like I can't handle my money. I'm one of those persons, you give me more money, I'm fine with it because I can do great without it. A lot of people aren't. Rock stars, movie stars, stuff like that. And you go, oh, they've got all the money in the world and they do this and they can't keep a mate and they're on drugs and they live destructive lives. And because they're people. The money just amplifies anything that they had, gives them access to things. That's it. That's it. But if they're a shitbird poor, they're going to be a shitbird rich. Just started on my pistachio cream from New England brand. Finished up in my little mug. But yeah, it's a misnomer. We say that all the time. People say stuff all the time. Oh, that Drew. Oh, no. Yeah, you can think that. You can think that. Rich people are happy. They know true happiness. What's true happiness? It can be difficult because when you have access to a lot of things, again, it amplifies. It amplifies. But if you're a good person, there's plenty of good people. There's plenty of rich people. They've had one wife, raised their kids well. They're doing good. They're happy. They got a vacation home someplace and they go up to the lake and they're happy. They're as happy as everybody else. And then they're shitbirds. And just all their flaws are amplified. But they still had the flaws. So yeah, you got to deal with things on an individual basis. I don't feel sorry for somebody because they're poor, and I don't envy them or hate them because they're richer than I am. I don't know. What I don't like is unearned. Now, I'm not talking about, hey, you win the lottery, great, whatever. I don't care. Hey, you got an inheritance, whatever. I'm talking if you scam people and you're just a downright nasty individual and you got your shit ill-gained, that annoys me. That annoys me. But you earned it honestly, hey, good on you. Good on you. Earn more. Earn more, I say. Because I don't care. It's your money. Talking about the $600 haircut. I don't care. Somebody just made $600. It's an even exchange. As long as you're not forcing somebody to do it. I ain't going to pay $600 for a haircut. But you want to pay $600 to some person to cut your hair, hey, have at it. As long as it's not my money. Same way with politicians, and that was a politician. Oh, this politician spent $600 at an airport getting a haircut. Was it your money or his money? And it was a he. Was it your money or his money? It's his money. It's part of his paycheck. Who the fuck cares? That's another thing. I don't get nothing. Oh, they want to give the money to illegals. And they should give the money to veterans or citizens. And I say they shouldn't give the money to anybody. It's not theirs to give. That's not the purpose of government. I always hate that. One or the other. Well, they should give it to us instead of them. No, nobody should have it. Nobody should have it. Not you, not them. Nobody should have it. That's not what we're being taxed for. Stop it. That's buying votes. That's all it is buying votes, either directly or because, oh, gee, look, they're helping somebody. I'm going to give them my vote. You bought the vote. So I said the student debt loan thing, too. Even if they don't even give a dime out, the fact that they're trying it, it's buying votes. It's a psychological game. It's buying votes. Laurel says we should have low. Yes. Yes, we should. We are taxed the crap. Oh, my goodness. I can't begin to. Somebody said a fair flat tax and stuff, and that's great. But we've got state, local, and federal tax things that are legitimately need to be paid for. All taxation is theft. No, it's not. No, it's not. How else are you going to pay for the shit that you need? The problem is government's doing too much shit. You need to reduce what the government's actually doing. Go through both the federal and state constitutions. Go through the constitutions, and they pretty much, they pretty much mirror each other now. Anything that is not specifically mandated by the Constitution, you don't pay for it. Half the agencies shouldn't be there. Oh, but the agency assisting this, but do you need that? No, you don't. Well, it's like the EPA and all this other stuff. You don't need that shit. It's just ways for the federal government to stick their fingers into the pot. They're not supposed to. We're a federalist nation. The federal government should not deal with the individual or businesses in any state. They deal with the state governments, making sure the state governments allow for free transfer, movement, and everything from state to state so that they all play together. Federal government's in charge of the national security, in charge of the national money, because we all got to be on the same page, and just a couple other issues. That's it. Navigable waters. Since the river goes between two states, I'm going to now stick my finger into every single action. No, your job as a federal government is to make sure that there is free flow, not that you are impeding it or controlling it. Is someone trying to stop the travel? Is somebody trying to stop the trade? No. Then get your fingers out of the pot. You're not there to regulate it. You're there to make sure that it's free. There's a difference between regulating and free flow. There's a difference. But go through and cut all that crap out. A lot of jobs are going to be lost. We're getting to be like Greece. Everybody's on the government dime. And the government doesn't have a dime. It comes from the people. We are taxed. I've spoken about this, and I've written articles about it, and I posted it up. The amount of taxes that were actually done during the colonial periods in the United States, it's very little. Very little. I think they had under 2% total taxation. And a lot of places had 0% taxation. That's all taxes together. I'm not talking about total taxation. Total. It's a big because it was a propaganda tool that the founding fathers, no taxation without representation. They didn't want taxation because they got representation and they still bitched about it. It wasn't about the taxes. Good swaths of New England had no freaking taxes on goods and or property or anything else because the king wanted people to move in. It was an attractive place to be because they didn't have taxes. Stop it. Tax the rich. They need to pay their fair share. They pay most of the taxes. I've said before, if at the end of the year you get an income tax check back, if you paid in and you get it all back, you don't get to vote. It's that simple. I'd be fine with that. You didn't contribute to the pot, you don't get to vote. That's closer to what the founding fathers wanted anyways. It was a meritocracy. You had to fit certain criteria. And it was not based on race or gender. It tended to line up with that more often than not. But that's just because of the way society was formulated. But it didn't hinge on that. Plenty of women voted if they fit the criteria. Non-whites voted if they fit the criteria. This whole idea of democracy, man, that's one. The idea that the United States is a democracy is one of the biggest downfalls of our country, because it's not. I wrote the article. Who here saw the article I wrote that our democracy, quote unquote, is today's matrix? Is the matrix? Because everybody thinks that we're a democracy and we're not, and they get all pissed off. How did Kamala Harris become the candidate for the Democrat Party when she didn't even run in the primary? Because we're not a fucking democracy. Oh my god! Oh, they didn't break the law. They didn't break the rules. I went and looked over the rules. Guess what? They did nothing illegal. They used the system as it was written, albeit in a shitty way. But you stop and think about it. What happens if somebody who won the primary, what if they died? You don't just hand it to the other party. There's a mechanism in place to make sure that there's somebody, an opposition candidate. The Electoral College shows we're not a democracy. There's all sorts of shit right down the line. We're not a democracy. I posted up today, is like, just because there is mass voting involved in government doesn't make it a democracy by default any more than saying that a 747 is an automobile because it has fucking tires. It's not. It's an aircraft. It's a jet. It's not an automobile. We live in a constitutional republic. There are democratic things in play, but that doesn't make us a democracy. Voting does not make you a democracy. It's what makes a democracy, but the Founding Fathers hated democracy. I'd even talked about the printing press and misinformation and stuff like that. The Founding Fathers owned their own printing presses, and they were publishing shit pieces, propaganda against their own political opponents. The same people that helped sign the Declaration of Independence. They were writing propaganda and putting out misinformation in the 1700s. And trust me, happened before. Like, oh, how about this? Napoleonic syndrome. Yeah, short guys, right? No, he wasn't short. A publisher wrote a hit piece on him, published all over the place, and everybody bought that shit. Why? Because they didn't like Napoleon. So everybody thinks he's something like 5'3". No, he was average height to maybe slightly taller. He was not a short guy. It was propaganda. Ain't nothing new with propaganda and misinformation. But just now, the lamestream media wants to control it, and they want it to be all from one direction, and the government is helping them do that. Working in tandem, which is also against what the Founding Fathers wanted. They knew there must be a separation. They must be allowed to do that. They knew people were going to shitpost. They knew people were going to put out propaganda. And just let the public determine for themselves. Ain't nothing new. Momentary strength or appearance of it versus long-term harm. That was my last topic there. That I was going to get before we just opened up to everybody. That went in hand with the feminizing of the West. They think that it's a great thing. Oh, it gives us strength. It doesn't. It eventually weakens you. It's like steroids. There is no lifelong bodybuilder that is in good shape now after they've retired, and many of them died because it harms their organs. It's bad. It's a momentary visual strength. They're not even as strong as what they look. They're strong. There's a misnomer. Oh, it doesn't make you strong. Yeah, steroids, when you work out, you will get strong. But you're not proportionally as strong as your muscles are. You can be half that size and be stronger, because that's not how muscles work. Steroids causes big muscles. But you need strength to get there. You're not weak. Go back to the West. Strength, even momentary. Remember I said you need to let men be men. Women, support your men. Let's go to Sparta. Where's Sparta? They were arguably one of the strongest societies on earth. And what did they do? They collapsed. They had their heyday and they collapsed. Why? In part because it was all strong. It was all strong. That's all they focused on. They didn't have the feminine. The women weren't even feminine. They focused too much on the strong. Gus says, I lift things up, I put things down. So do I. So do I. So it was momentary strength that ended up being a cancer and killed the entire Spartan population. That's why Sparta doesn't exist anymore. Because there was an imbalance. But in the opposite way, that was too much masculine. Women temper your men. Women temper the society that they're in. Not just their men, all society. But you don't give them free reign. That's unhealthy. You get the shit now. It's a trans movement. It's not men pushing the trans movement. It's women. It wasn't men that was pushing the LGBTQ movement. It was women. Or it wasn't men that was doing that. It was women. I'm tired. I didn't know what I said. Then I fall and I can't get up. You got your beeper. Get your beeper. It's women. It's not men that are taking their kids to drag queen story hours. It's women. There is an inherent instability in women, which must be guided and penned in, but in a loving way, by the men in their life. The way that women temper masculinity and the male proclivities. It's a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. We both have our strengths and weaknesses, and women have lost their freaking mind. And it's not because of men. It's because women pushed all this shit. Same way, it was a minority of women that wanted the vote. 19th Amendment, the suffragettes. Most women didn't want it because most women realized, oh shit, I can't be drafted into the fire brigade. I can't be drafted into the militia. I can't be drafted into the service. I can't be drafted to do police work. I can't do any of that shit. They can't do that. Men, yeah, it's a duty. You had to do this. They call up and say, hey, get over there. Take care of it. Women didn't have to. And they said, well, shit, if we get the right to vote, we're going to have to. So like I've said this before, well, they got the right to vote anyways because of stupid men. Women didn't vote en masse to get the right to vote. They didn't want it. It was a few squawking women and a bunch of men white knighting and thinking that they're going to save the females from some sort of inequality. And it's like, no, you fucked it up. Birth control. Birth control has fucked up society in more ways than one. It made promiscuous sex more attractive, and it fucked with women's hormones. So they weren't attracted to the same type of guys that they were when they were ovulating. And they've done studies to prove this shit. Women who are ovulating like masculine men. Women who are not ovulating like softer men. I'm not saying fairies. I'm saying softer men. Well, you keep going for softer men and marrying them and eventually having children with softer men. There's woman after woman that after they get off of their birth control, they look at their husbands and they go, what did I ever see in him? I'm not attracted to him. Yeah, because your ovulation was off. You weren't being attracted to the type of man that the species need to sustain itself. It's that simple. So birth control's a blessing and a bane at the same time. Hey, Judy, welcome to the show. Feminine hygiene products was one of the, I would say, for human history and for men and women in general, feminine hygiene. Gus says, take a look at nature. I don't know where you're going with that, Gus. Depends upon what species. Birds, it's the colorful ones that they go after. In all the other ones, it's the most masculine. But birds are colorful. But that's different. But yeah. Oh, what the hell was I saying before you got me off track there, Gus? But yeah, it just, and then generation after generation. Oh, feminine hygiene. Yeah. The missus and I were talking about it. I don't know. Did I say this on the last show? We were watching the Vikings. And she's like, man, everybody must have stunk really bad. Yeah. Back before deodorants and stuff like that. Yeah. That everybody smelled. Everybody smelled. It was the way it was. You got used to it, and some people smelled worse than others. But yeah. And she's like, oh, that would have been gross. Can you imagine living in those times and not having? Judy says, gross. Yeah. And it's like we're watching the Vikings and they're out working. And you think it's all sexy. You know, it's like, oh, just coming from battle and they're all sweaty and he takes off his armor and then, oh, he's got to make love to his woman. It's like, man, you stink. You would have stunk. And your woman probably would have too, because she's been out working all day too. It's like, gross. No. Now, hey, we've got different sensibilities now, but yeah. But can you imagine being a female? I said this before, and I've said this, and I'm going to say it, and I might upset a few people, but I'm going to say it anyways. Women are gross. No. Women have a physiology, and they have bacterias, and they have things going on in their system that us guys don't have. We don't have it. If we don't take a shower for a month, yeah, we got some crud, maybe. That's about it. We're not going to get sick. A woman can physically get sick if she does not take a shower for a month. If she doesn't take a shower or a bath, she doesn't clean herself. She can literally get sick. So when I say they're gross, I'm not trying to insult. They just have a physiology that's different. And there's reason for it. So add in the women's physiology, improper hygiene. It's like, oh my God, what a nasty bunch of people humans were up until a relatively short amount of time ago. People have no clue how good they have it. The poor have it better than kings in the past. You don't have a clue. But can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Okay, it's 1860. It's 1860. And you're leaving Boston. And you're gonna go to California. See, you get your shit together and you head on out. See, everybody, it romanticizes it. You're going, oh, I saw that. That was, what was it, Yellowstone 1880 something, some crap like that. I forget the name of it. Yeah, they did that shit. People did that all the time. Imagine being a woman. No feminine hygiene stuff. No adequate sanitation. And you're going to get in a Conestoga wagon. Conestoga wagon. And you're going to head across the prairies. Yeah. Women in settlements did better. If you had running water and wells and stuff like that, it was better. But can you imagine traveling across the country? And it's going to take you 3-4 months to get across the country. How long did it take them to travel by a wagon across the country? Let's find out. Yeah. 4 to 6 months. It took them 4 to 6 months. That's they generally traveled. It took for 2,000 miles. It take them 4 to 6 months. They traveled roughly 12 to 15 miles per day. Without sanitation, without feminine hygiene products. It looks glamorous when you're watching the TV show. Can you imagine that? People don't have a clue. Here's another thing. Watch the show Vikings. Like, yeah, they all had veneers on their, not a single gappy smile or, veneers, crystal white veneers, blood streaming down their face and dirt and muck everywhere and crystal white veneers. Man, people don't have a clue. They don't have a clue. It's like the women going, oh, I don't need a man. Yeah, you do. Men need other men. Most men nowadays can't survive without other men. Gus says, quickly ran out of TP fast. Yeah. Yeah. Talk about a toilet paper shortage. Most of them didn't have toilet paper back then anyways, but shit, no pun intended. Yeah. Things were not, it's not like the movies. It's like, when was the last time you saw a movie and they had to go take a dump? I mean, they do sometimes in some of the, but most movies, no. No, you might watch them take a shower. No, life was rough. Clothing stunk. You didn't have new clothes. You mended the stuff that you had. 4 to 6 months. Can you imagine? None of the girls have even typed up. Can you imagine 4 to 6 months? Man. Men, we don't, like I said, we don't get sick. We don't have the bacteria that women have. We just don't have it. Because a lot of reasons. Women will literally get sick. Served with women in the military. You don't want to be deployed with women unless it's a rear echelon area. You don't, because they're nasty. And they get sick. Yeah, even in modern times. With modern feminine hygiene stuff, the women get sick. Gus says, still around the fire and fart. Oh, sit around the fire and fart because all they had to eat was beans. Oh, Gus. Comes to another thing. Why do men fart more than women do? Women do fart. They do. And they fart in their sleep. They fart usually different than guys do, but guys do fart more than women. It's because of our physiology. Men create more gas because of the way that we're designed. And that's why men fart more. We have more gas. Why do women piss more than men? They have smaller bladders. It's not that because, they can't have they have smaller bladders. It's physiology. It's that simple. Men can go a lot longer without pissing because we have massive bladders compared to women. Gus says, painting a picture for everyone. Well, we appreciate that, Gus. I'm sure the gals appreciate that too. We're different. Celebrate our differences. Celebrate our differences. Together we are stronger than we are apart. It's just the way it is. God made us this way. Celebrate it. Don't fight it. Men and women aren't the enemy. Again, men and women think about things different. We handle things differently. Even of similar mind. The missus and I, we don't agree on everything. I'm always right, but we don't agree on everything. And most of the time it's just because we look at these situations differently. When I point out, it's like, yeah, well, look at it from this angle. Oh, okay. Gus says, hey, I'm trying. No one else is saying, yeah, nobody's saying anything. Why aren't you saying anything? Did I piss off the gals? Did I piss off the gals? Maybe I pissed off the gals. They're all still here. I see the numbers. They're all still here. No. Hubris. Hubris. Modern women. And beta men. Judy says, of course not. That's another thing. When people want to get online, they want to say, "Oh, I'm a hater," and I'm not a hater. Everything that I say comes from a good place. Even if you don't agree with it, if you understand where it comes from, you know it's a good place. I want the best for people, the best for this nation, the best for all of us. Gus says, I was thinking that. Gus is like, I wish I had a camera on, everybody. Watch the girls' faces. But yeah, none of you girls typed up. Can you imagine traveling 4 to 6 months across the nation in the 1800s? Holy crap. My goodness. What a horrible thing to do. I'd do it now. I like the modern stuff. But see, guys, we don't need the stuff. But yeah, now it's a breeze. They called me the breeze. Yeah. But it's like, hey, did you all see the video I posted up? It was a short that was on YouTube, and it was from the Yellowstone 18, whatever the hell it was. And it was Sam Elliott, and he was hired to bring these people across the plains, and they didn't have guns, and he's like, oh shit, I'm going to have to hire more people with more guns, because it was against their religion and shit like that, and they didn't. No, you have to do it for this price. He's like, I can't do it for the same price. I need more shit. That's modern people. I don't need men. I don't need this. I don't need that. Yes, you do. Judy says, I was thinking about skinny dipping in the ponds and lakes that you can fish and wash up. Nice smell, a little fishy too. Yeah. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, and they a lot of times they look. Make sure that you're upstream of somebody doing that, not downstream. Yeah, it's a different world. Different world. People have it so easy, and I don't mind. That's great. Just know the blessing that you've won the lottery, being born in this time, and in this nation. You won the lottery. And so many people are just ungrateful. Ungrateful. But you know what, folks? You know what I'm grateful for? I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you. And my coffee. I'm grateful that people are waking up. Waking up. Figuring shit out. Yeah. Momentary strength. The left thought that they had momentary strength. They didn't. It was going to hit a tipping point. That's what I said, too, about the Rovid and everything. It's like, if enough people had stood up earlier, it wouldn't have lasted 2 freaking years. It would have shut down immediately. Done. But they didn't. So now we're here. And again, politics is always downstream of culture. It took us 20 hard years to get here. I am grateful of your eggs. Oh, my goodness. I'm not getting any eggs. I told Gus, I'm not getting any eggs. Halloween, people were coming in. We'd been asked, and one gal, she's like, are your chickens laying? Well, you got chickens? She goes, yeah, I got 4 chickens. I said, your chickens aren't laying either. She goes, no. I said, they're molting, aren't they? She goes, yes. Well, there you go. They molt twice a year, and we're in the second molt, and they're not laying. So we got feathers everywhere, but no eggs. They're freeloaders. They need to hurry that shit up. They're still eating. They're still eating like they're laying, but they ain't laying. Damn it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and speaking about my smile, like, you didn't say anything. Well, I'm seeing myself. I'm smiling. I had posted up about me. Especially under certain light. It's like, okay, take a picture for folks. Okay, smile. Click. Ah, shit. Looks like I'm pissed off. Take another one. I usually take one night I took over 5 pictures just to get one where I was looking like I was smiling and my face literally hurt because I had to smile so exaggerated. So it showed up on the camera. Like, the video camera picks it up pretty good, but it just was not picking up. It's like, oh, son of a bitch. Man. No, I laugh. I smile. Like, damn, I look pissed off. Got permanent resting bitch face. I'm smiling, damn it. Look in the eyes. Tell people, just look in the eyes. It's in the eyes. Man, it hurt. It actually hurts. Like, oh, man. Oh, my face hurt. I've done that on the show. I've bitched at you folks for that. It's like, get me laughing too much. It's like, oh, man, my face is hurting. Y'all doing this to me. You're hurting my face. It's not nice. They're like, John, you've been killing us with your face for 2 damn hours. Well, okay. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. My goodness. How about Transylvania? How about that Transylvania? Them Transylvanians, those vampires. Yeah, vampires were around long before the legend of Count Dracula. He's a newcomer. You got vampires all over the world. But yeah, Transylvania. Centered in Romania. This is Transylvania, and then Romania is about like this big around it. And Hungary's up here. We did the map. We showed it the last time. We're like, hey, let's find this out. You know how like Persians are Muslim. Well, they're Muslim now, but they weren't Muslim. They weren't Muslim when they were fighting the Ottomans. The Ottomans were Muslim. The Persians were Zoroastrian. So if you look at the old depictions of the Persians, it's like they're doing some racy shit for being Muslims. Well, because they weren't they weren't Muslims. They're only Muslims in modern times. Back when they were fighting the Ottomans, they were Zoroastrian. And then they converted to Islam. Yeah, I think we got into that because we were talking about how people act like the Europeans, the white Europeans, they're the scourge and they're controlling it. It's like we're the newcomers on the block. Hell, they had the Mongols and they had the Romans. The Romans are white. Well, they ain't European. They had the Moors conquered a lot, and the Moors weren't black. They were mostly Arab. They're trying to rewrite that history now. I went to a few pages, and they're trying to say, oh, no, they were mostly black. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. There were black Moors. There were. And, in fact, there was whole black units of Moors. But Moors as a whole, as a group, they were Arab. They were Arab. So yeah, you had the Moors, you had the Romans, you had the Mongols, then the Chinese conquered a shit ton of area too. Judy says, "Oh, I saw Oren on YouTube last night. I watched Candle stuff all the time. Oren. I don't get it. Is that somebody I should know? I saw Oren on YouTube last night. Orion. Okay, good. I said it right. Orion. You saw Orion on YouTube last. Who's Orion? I watch Candle stuff all the time. Orion. Do I know Orion? You just pulled that out there like I should know who Orion is. Who's Orion, Judy? Woody. Oh, Woody? David, right? You saw David on YouTube? Does it? Oh, because, yeah. Oh, Woody, yeah. Orion Turner is not Woody. David is Woody. David's from, he does the candles. Yeah. Yeah, you're mixing. Orion was, no, Woody is not Orion. That's where it threw me off. It's like, Orion? No. Orion is not Woody. David is Woody. He's from California. No, that's okay. You just you just took me off guard. If you said you saw Woody last night and you do candles, I go, oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, do you follow him on Instagram? Do you have Instagram? Because I think that's where he saw me first. I think he started following me on Instagram and then started following me on Facebook. Wood and Axe Company. Wood and Axe Company. Yeah, that's Woody. Yeah, it's David. David something or other. I think you got a Hispanic name. D'Angelo or D'Amato, something or other. I don't know. I think he's David. Yeah. Threw me for a loop there. Oh, good. So you saw him on YouTube, huh? What was he doing on YouTube? Was it a short or was he pouring candles? What was he doing? No, I watched the Black Tie Barn, and they have mentioned Woody, but now I am not too sure. Oh, okay. Black Tie Barn. They've mentioned Woody. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, if you got YouTube, or if you got Instagram, go ahead and look him up there. It's Wood and Axe Company. Wood and Axe Company. He puts up videos every now and again. Good fella, trying to take care of his kids. But okay, that was good. So you saw, no, that's good. No, it's good. Okay, I'm in a lull. Holy shit, we got about 15 more minutes. About almost 20 minutes left of the show. What else you want to talk about? Boy, I ranted and raved, and all you gals who just sat quiet. You still didn't answer about the trip across the 4 to 6 months without any suitable washing and feminine hygiene stuff. Boy, that'd be... Girls are not... You're not helping me out here. You're not helping me out. Trying to toss you out something in there. Oh, you see, Facebook removed a photo of mine because they said that it looks like, it looks like you created or hosted malicious software. It's not. I posted a screenshot and a link to X that had a video of a shooting. Laurel says, nope, not for me. Judy says, I had a plan. LOL. You had a plan. Judy had a plan. Her plan was, I'm going to go from pond to pond. That's all I'm going to do. You'd be better off traveling Canada. That's why canoes were more plentiful in Canada than they were in the United States. Because from what I understand, you can travel darn near across the entire country of Canada with no more than, I think it's like 14 kilometers I'd have to look into it. I heard something like that. 14 kilometers at the most between your water sources. It'd be an interesting trip to plan it out. But they did that all the time. Especially on the East Coast. It was just, they traveled all the time. Lake to lake, portage for you English folk. It's a portage. And for you Canucks and Francais is a portage. Better than no plans at all. Go, Judy. You trying to push her across the nation? Don't do that. Don't go, Judy. Stay in the modern times. You're doing better there. Better there. Yipper. Yeah, get out to the Continental Divide. It ain't so much the soil that's the problem, it's the altitude. Judy says, just leave me here. I'm going to wait here. I hear that they're going to, any day now, they're going to have a railway that's going to go across the whole place. It took people less time to jump in a boat in Boston, travel down South America and up to the other side than it did to cross the country. Oh, my goodness. Itchy nose. Boy, it got cold. 30 degrees. Got out of the Franken-Zebo last night. 30 degrees when we went back inside. Did you hear, Gus? I got a new front on it. Now I got the panels all the way around, all four sides. Corners, you still get a little bit of air coming in, but most of it's blocked off. Judy says we've been dodging tornadoes here. Yeah, should end any time now. It should end any time now. Then wait for spring to kick up again. Yeah. Here it's just been cold. I haven't drained the lines over there in the Vermont property yet, because I figure it's going to get warm up again. I'm figuring maybe a couple weeks I'll get over there and shut the place down. Gus says Sally started the pellet stove last night. Is that the first time? We've been running our stove for a while now. I think you called me a pussy the other day because of it. That's not bad if you're just walking around, but if you're just sitting someplace and it's like 68 degrees and you're just sitting, it's cold. So we bump it up to 84. Donna says worse will be tomorrow there. Gus says, yep, first time. Yeah, it's the wind. I think the wind, if the wind is just right, the house doesn't like to stay warm. Oh, you turn it on. And it just, I love that heater. It's not a monitor, but it's a monitor style heater. And that thing will just chug away all day and just barely go. And it sips fuel. It's like, oh, beautiful. Donna says we got a couple inches of rain today and supposed to get about 3 inches tomorrow. Yeah, I can do without the rain. I got to get I got a new tarp for the front of the chicken run too. I got to put that up and get that braced in for the snowfalls. Put up some wind barriers so it doesn't come in the front as much. And gals have a place to hide from the direct wind, because it comes from the west. It goes west to east. West to east, right across our property. It blows right in the front of that chicken run. And then when it starts to get a little bit more windy or cold, I'm going to have to go out there. We go out there every night during the wintertime, and we shut them in the coop, because that little door dropping down will stop the wind from coming in at the bottom too. So Gus says he got the second dumpster almost full. Fantastic. You should have said, John, come over and help me lug some shit and throw it in the dumpster. You got any extra wood, you let me know. I'll pick it up. I can always use wood. Judy says we had an inch of rain in over 2 months. We haven't had an inch of rain in over 2 months, but it's been flooding from all the rain we've had so far. Yeah, the soil, if the soil is dry, it doesn't like to keep that water. Gusting 20 to 30 now. Yeah, that's like here. The missus is like, yeah, said it was 16. I'm like, it ain't 16. It's like 30. It's like 16 when it's not gusting, maybe. It's about 30. So she went and dug up some more. And she's like, yeah, it's that's what it is. Yeah, I figure. And again, if you got 30 miles an hour, 20 to 30, and it's constant, you can deal with that. It's the gusts that tears shit apart. It just tears everything apart. I'll take a constant wind. That's not a problem. That gust is hell. It just rips tarps apart and blows things over and weakens structures. And mm-hmm. Donna's been quiet. Oh, but yeah, they said that goes against our community standards on cybersecurity. I didn't post shit that went to a bad place. So I put in, appeal this, and it wouldn't say, yeah, it's went through. It just kept loading that same page, so we'll see. Gus says we're in a drought here right now. Mass has been fighting forest fires. Yeah, it's fire season. Fire season. A little bit of rain's fine right now. I think we're supposed to have a mild winter again. That's what they were saying. I could be wrong, but I think that's what the missive says. Donna says, watching the weather. Yeah, weather. I used to be a watcher. I used to watch the weather a lot more down in Oklahoma. Were you scared? No. No. Doesn't do any good to get scared. You're going to get a nader, you're going to get a nader. You can't spend your life worrying about it. Prepare if it comes in, you got someplace to go. Other than that, you don't spend your life. I didn't know anybody that spent their life worrying about it. Okay, watch the weather. Donna said that's what I heard too. Yeah. Yes. So, can you imagine living your life in a fear like that? No, you just live your life. Right, don't be scared, be prepared, says Gus. And he's laughing. No, it's true. You don't get scared about it. I couldn't imagine just sitting worrying about it. Oh, my God, we're in tornado seasons. Judy says I don't get scared, but sure if one hit me, I would be. Yeah, if you get caught up in one, yeah, you might get your blood pressure a little raised. But yeah, you don't sit there and just, oh my goodness, it's a tornado. It's either there or not. Used to love to watch. Get the wall clouds come in and stuff like that. It's all beautiful. Oh, it is so, storms in Oklahoma are so furiously beautiful. Excuse me, it's wonderful. And you just watch. It almost becomes like a game. You just watch. You go, where are you going? Okay, something's dropping. Okay, you got a cloud drop. It's dropping. Tell me you haven't done that, Judy. It's like you go and you watch. Okay, it's dropping. Oh, look, it's going to be fuck. It's not. No, that's not a tornado. It just dissipated, and it's like it's like a game. I mean, you can't be scared. Just be mindful. Be mindful. Be prepared. But live your life. Hated dust. Judy says, yes, of course you did. Everybody lives down. Yeah, if you live in Tornado Alley, you know the hunt. You don't even have to go far. Just get outside so you can see and watch the clouds come in. It's beautiful. Oh, it gets dark as hell. Gets dark as hell. Get a big black wall cloud come in. Dark as hell. And then no wind. And no wind at all. It's like, what the hell? No wind at all. And then you watch. And you watch the clouds and you watch them start to, they get these little fingers that come down. And you just watch them. And sometimes they just stay there and you'll watch it and you'll just stay there. It's not going to do anything. It's like, oh, it wants to do something. It ain't doing something. And it'll just be there. And then it'll disappear. And there goes another one over there. It's like, okay. Are you going to do something? And in the back of your mind, you're always going, oh, it'd be cool if I can see it. It's a morbid fascination. It's like, it's disappointing. You go, oh, it's there. It's happening. It's happening. Is it? Fuck, it's not happening. It's gone. Okay. Yeah, it's all a part of it. It's all a part of it. Yeah, I didn't know anybody that was really scared. Judy says that's the truth. It is. It is. It's like nor'easter here. So what if we get 3 feet of snow? I say, yeah, nor'easter runs in through New England. You go, what? You're going to get scared? No. Bring it on. Bring it. I got shovels. Got a generator if I need it. We're fine. We're fine. New Hampshire's fine. Ice storms are worse. Ice storms are bad, but still prepared for ice storms. Okay, the power is going to go out. Depending upon where you live, it's going to be up within, a few hours. Sometimes it might be a day or two at the most. Some places go longer, but yeah, mostly they got the system down. But you don't get all worried about it. Same way as the hurricanes come on through. It's like, oh my goodness. Good. Okay. My time was off. Yeah, okay, it's going to come through. But like I said, New Hampshire's pretty sheltered. We don't get things too bad one way or the other. We're good. So it's fine. But yeah, storms in Oklahoma. It's like, got back to what I hated was dust season. Oh, man. Doesn't matter how often they're out plowing the fields and the wind's blowing. Jesus, every time you go outside, your vehicle is just covered with dust. So it was dust in Oklahoma. It was fuck bugs in Louisiana. Judy says, yes, covers your car. Right. Yeah. Judy's like, you did live in Oklahoma. Yes. Yes, I told you where I lived. Dust. Man, hated it. Dust. I hated dust season. You can't keep anything clean. It's like, oh, Jesus, I just washed my vehicle. Oh, crap. Dust on everything. You need to wash off. If you don't wash your windshields, you will literally scratch your windshields. So hose that windshield off. Hose it off. And then run your wipers, because if not, you start running it with all that dust on it, you will over time scratch your windshield. So, and then hail season. Hail. I didn't mind hail so much as dust, but yeah, hail can be a bugger. Hail can be a bugger. Good time to go car shopping though. After a hailstorm. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oklahoma. Loved living there. Good state. Don't think I'll ever move back. But good state. Oklahoma. Yep. Judy says that's true. Get thousands off. Yes. Yes. Especially, hey, if you know a good dent and ding guy, oh, you just go car shopping after a hailstorm. Good hailstorm. You can get some good money off the vehicle and just pull that shit out. Oklahoma and other states, very deceptive. When you see somebody in a grocery store, they're all dirty, wearing overalls and stuff like that. Chances are they're richer than you are. A lot of farmers. Gus says, it's all yours, Judy. Yep. Well, I thank you. Thank you for joining the show. Because it's normally it'd be 11 o'clock now. On that wall, it's the clock is still 11. I'll change it after I get off the air here. Judy says I love it here. Yeah, there's a friendliness I like. Oklahoma it's a lovely state. Lovely state. But I don't think I'll ever live there again. I may bring the missus back around to show her some places she ain't seen. Donna says, night all. Yes. Good night, Donna. Thanks for joining the show. Gus, Judy, Donna, Laurel, glad that things have settled down for you. Gus says, good night, everyone, and have a great start of your week. Yes, let's hope for a wonderful start of our week. Low stress. I'm hoping for a message. Hey, we're in November now. I need a message about the dulcimer. Peggy, thank you for popping in again. She says, good night, all. Thank you, John. You're most welcome, Peggy. I didn't mean to jump on you, Peggy. I'm sorry if I came in a little rough. I need to ease in a little bit there. It was nothing personal. Judy says, good night, all. Watch for my content online. I'll be up bright and early, putting out some more. Dealing with all the new folks. I try to interact with people, but I can't get to it. There's a lot more people interacting. Knuckleheads. A lot of them are good-hearted. They're good-hearted. They're just different flavor. Different flavor. But okay. It is. Yeah, it is time to shut it down. So again, hey, those who like this content and other content that I put out there on the interwebs, if you'd like to help support, there's links in the description of the show. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends. Have them join. Have them check out my Facebook page where all the goodies are. And, well, yeah, that's that. And I'll see you all around. Wednesday is the next show. I'll see you then. Till then, God bless and take care.